Why do some nations prosper while others can't escape poverty? One major factor is geography. But institutions and history matter just as much. Landlocked countries face, on average, higher trade costs than coastal nations. This is what the World Bank and decades of economic geography research have shown. This slide explains it all. The influence of market access and transportation costs on national development has been widely confirmed since the work of Krugman and others. Today, let's look at the data. More than 80% of global trade by volume moves by sea. For long-distance bulk shipping, maritime transport tends to be far cheaper than overland alternatives. This changes everything. Port cities benefit from trade and the concentration of business activity. Singapore, Rotterdam, Shanghai. What they share is access to the sea. But what determined their success was also port operations, institutions, and connections to their hinterlands. And in recent years, the Red Sea crisis and drought at the Panama Canal have disrupted global logistics. Sea access alone isn't the story. Dependence on choke points is a risk in itself. Geography is not infrastructure. It's a starting point. Rivers are more than just flowing water. Look at the Mississippi River system. It's the backbone of U.S. grain and soybean export transportation. For bulk cargo, river transport tends to be far cheaper than overland alternatives. The Rhine River Basin is one of Europe's premier industrial and logistics hubs. Germany, France, the Netherlands, all of them benefit from this river. But rivers aren't infallible. In recent years, droughts have lowered water levels, causing serious disruptions to logistics along the Rhine and Mississippi alike. Geographic advantage is not a fixed asset. Climate change can alter its value. Advantaged nations tend to share three geographic conditions. The first is sea access. Landlocked countries face, on average, higher trade costs. This tends to become a structural constraint on growth. The second is navigable rivers. For bulk transport, they tend to be far cheaper than overland routes. This shapes both agriculture and industrial location. The third is natural defensive barriers. Mountain ranges, deserts, and straits provide strategic advantages. But in the modern era, technological capability, alliances, and supply chains matter just as much. Switzerland had the Alps. Britain had the English Channel. Japan had the Pacific Ocean. Yet their prosperity also depended on institutions, industrialization, and military strength. Nations with all three tend to start from a position of advantage. But the ultimate gap is also determined by institutions and policy. Geography, however, is not everything. Look at Switzerland, a landlocked country, no sea access. Yet its GDP per capita is roughly $105,000 in nominal terms. Singapore covers roughly 734 square kilometers, about 283 square miles. Only slightly larger than the 23 wards of Tokyo. Yet its GDP per capita is roughly $88,000 in nominal terms. What's the difference? Institutions, property rights protection, rule of law, elimination of corruption, quality of regulation. That's what institutions actually means in concrete terms. In the 2024 Index of Economic Freedom, Singapore ranked first in the world and Switzerland ranked second. On international rule of law indicators, both consistently place among the highest tier. Across much of the economic research, this kind of institutional quality is shown to be strongly linked to long-term income levels and growth. Geography determines the starting point, but institutions determine the destination. Is your country making the most of its geographic advantages? And is it maximizing the power of its institutions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Which do you think shapes a nation's fate more strongly, geopolitics or institutions? Thanks for watching all the way through. On this channel, we analyze world events through the lens of geopolitics and economics. Not through emotion, but through facts. Not through opinion, but through mechanisms, deepening your understanding of the world. Subscribe and join me as we uncover the truth behind global affairs. Until next time,